Welcome to Small Town Whispers, where history, folklore, and the paranormal collide. I'm Bethany Yucuis Borden, and I lived in Watseka, Illinois from 1988 to 1999. For over a decade, I walked the same streets, saw the same houses, and even had friends connected to the story we're about to dive into. This isn't just history for me, it's personal. Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in to Small Town Whispers. We are getting closer to the end of Watseka, and somehow it still feels like the deeper we go, the more questions rise to the surface. Today's episode is called Spring Fever. Spring fever is defined as a set of physical and emotional changes that arrive with early spring. Restlessness, renewed energy, wandering thoughts, and a longing for something new. Since this entire section of the story unfolds in the spring of 1878, I thought the title felt especially fitting. There's movement in the air, change on the horizon, and the sense that something is building. I want to remind you that this book is loosely based on the real Watseka Wonder case. The Watseka Wonder by Dr. E.W. Stevens was first published in September of 1878, but loosely here may be the key word. It's fair to call this the Hollywood version of the events. What we do know is that Lorancy Venom lived in the Roth home from February 11th, 1878 until May 21st, 1878. During that time, according to the doctor, the Roth family, and many others who claim to recognize her intimate knowledge and mannerisms, Mary Roth was said to be inhabiting Lorancy's body. Last week, for the first time, we heard Lorancy and Mary's voices in this same episode. One trembled with fear, while the other was calm, steady, and matter-of-fact. We learned that the girls had met on what Mary simply calls the other side. From a distance, Lavinia made her judgments, stirred the Watseka concerned citizens into action, and marched with Reverend Baker to confront Colonel Peters. That, as we heard, was a mistake. The colonel stood firm, refusing to back down in the support of both families. So, how are we all feeling? This is a lot to digest. For a change of pace, today's segment opens up with something deeply personal, a letter from Mary to the doctor. And that is where we return to the book Watseka, America's Most Extraordinary Case of Possession and Exorcism, on page 248. Watseka, Illinois, March 20th, 1878.
Dear Dr. Stevens, I sincerely hope you are well and that your wife and daughters are likewise. It has been over a month now since you left, and I'm writing to tell you how things are going here and how I am faring. It was kind of you to send me the lovely letter and the small picture of you that I requested. I keep it beside my bed and say a special prayer to it each night before I blow out the candle. My mother and my father are also very fine, and so are brothers Frank and Charles. It is so wonderful to be with them all again. Of course, Nervy is busy with her husband and her family duties, but she does come to see me almost every day. The weather here has been cool, but now it seems to be warming up. Pa says that spring is almost here, and I am glad. Yesterday I went to shop with Ma, and we put on just a light jacket and shawl. There are some flowers coming up back in the woods, and many of the trees and bushes have the tiniest little buds on them already. I do hope spring hurries and gets here before I have to leave again. I've told my folks that I'll be leaving one of these days. They don't like it, and Ma gets real sad. I get sad too, but there's nothing any of us can do. I just give thanks to the Lord and to you that I was able to return for a visit that has lasted this long. I didn't expect it to be more than a few days, and look how time has flown. I've had some news from the other side, and they tell me that the Venom girl is doing real nicely. Her nerves are much better, and that problem with her spinal cord is much improved. Her heart is also getting stronger, and she is learning many things over there. She will be a changed girl when she gets back here. It is my prayer that her family will treat her differently when she does come back. She has not had a very happy life, poor thing. They also gave me some information that I was to pass along to you. They said that one day soon you will get a letter from heaven. It has something to do with one of your patients. That's all they told me, but you are not to become discouraged with some problem with a patient because they will send you a letter from heaven that will explain everything. I must close now, dear friend, because Pa is going back to the office after he has his lunch, and I will ask him to post this letter for me. Please come back and see me real soon. We must have that little talk we spoke about, and time is drawing nigh to the day I shall have to depart forever. May God bless you in all your endeavors. Your obedient servant and friend, Mary Roth. P.S. There's trouble brewing in the air. They told me that when they told me about your letter. They also told me I had to be strong. With God's guidance and your prayers, I shall be. Mary.
She handed the letter to Asa when he was about to leave the house.
Pa, will you please post this to Dr. Stevens for me?
He took the envelope and felt a lump form in his throat. For years he had carried, in his wallet, a little poem Mary had written for him when she was a patient in Peoria. How many times over the years had he taken it out and reread it? He knew it by heart. He also knew the handwriting by heart. This envelope was addressed in that very same handwriting. The next Sunday was almost summer-like in its warmth and soft breezes. The following day was just the same. A kind of calm lay over everything in Watseka, with two exceptions: the Reverend Baker and Mrs. Lavinia Durst. They had just gotten out of a buggy across the street and were coming up the walk of the Roth home. Anne and Charlotte were in the backyard, beating at two floor rugs they had hung over a heavy clothesline. The boys were in school, while Minerva was at her own home. Laurency was alone in the house. She went down to open the door when the pull bell jangled for the third time in a row.
Yes?
Neither Reverend Baker nor Lavinia had expected the Venom girl to be the one to greet them. They both took a step backward.
Yes? Do you wish to speak with my ma? She's out and back, but I can fetch her in a minute.
Lavinia glanced at the minister. Well, we do wish to speak to Mrs. Roth, but we've also come to speak to you. She turned to the minister. Maybe it's better this way. He nodded in agreement. Why don't we just sit out here on the front porch? The woman suggested.
Oh, but the chairs are all dirty. We haven't gotten around to cleaning off the winter soot yet.
She didn't think it would be polite for two finely dressed people to sit on dirty chairs.
Please come into the house. I'll go and fetch Ma.
Well, we will come in, but just for a little while, the man said. We have other business to attend to this morning. At least I do. He wanted Lavinia to understand he had no intention of taking all morning with this Laurency Venom matter.
Right this way.
The girl held the door open, and they entered the house. It was the first time either of them had been inside the Roth home, and Lavinia looked around eagerly.
I'll go and get my ma.
Laurency had started for the back door when Lavinia called for her. No, let her tend to her duties for a minute. It's you we really wish to talk with.
Me?
Yes, child, the woman said. We have heard a great deal about you, and we have come to see you for ourselves. Laurency pulled back a bit.
See what?
Well, they are saying in town that you are Mary Roth.
That's right, I am.
Returned from the grave.
From the grave?
Yes, the Reverend Baker added. Returned to life after more than a decade of being dead.
That's true. I have returned to life, but not from the grave. If I had come from the grave, I wouldn't have this body now. I'd have another. My own.
The minister changed his tactics. Obviously, the child was lying. Who told you to say that?
Told me? Told me what?
To say that you were Mary Roff and not Larancy Venom. Lying is a sin in the eyes of God. Do you know that?
I am not lying. What I'm telling you is the truth. I am Mary Roff.
You are Larancy Venom, said Lavinia quickly, and we know all about your shenanigans.
Shenanigans? I don't understand.
Larancy took another step backward. She didn't like these people, whoever they were. Lavinia raised her voice. You'll understand soon enough when you get to Springfield. Now, Mrs. Durst, the minister said, please, let me handle her. Lavinia got up and went toward Larancy. Can't you see she's lying? One look at her will tell you who she is. She is Larancy Venom, body and soul. I've seen the girl with Tom and Lorinda 1,000,000 times, and so have you.
I am Mary Roff. Let me get my ma.
Now just you stay put, young lady, the minister said. We're not finished.
I don't know who you are.
You most certainly do. You've gone to his church many times. He is the Reverend Baker, minister at the Methodist Church where you are a member. She smiled at this child who thought she could hoodwink her by lying so badly. Now suppose we get to the bottom of this. If it's play acting you're doing, forget it. We didn't come here to see a show.
Who are you? What right have you to come into my house and torment me in this manner?
Larancy Venom, you know perfectly well who I am. And this ain't your house. Your house is on 6th Street and belongs to Tom Venom.
I am not Larancy Venom. I am Mary Roff.
Well, if you are Mary Roff, then you certainly know who I am. Mary and I had quite a set too when she was alive. The girl looked closer at the woman in front of her.
You do look like someone I used to know.
Used to know? You know me very well, if you really are Mary Roff. She came closer. Look at me. Doesn't my face tell you my name? Really, the minister said, I think you are going at this in the wrong manner. Lavinia ignored him. She'd waited too long for this moment. Look at me. Look well, and then tell me you don't know who I am. The girl tried to pull away, but Lavinia had her almost up against the parlor wall. That old face was just inches away from hers, and she could smell the cologne that Lavinia used on her tongue to mask the odor of her rotting teeth. Who am I? Larancy's eyes grew wide.
Mrs. Durst, you are Lavinia Durst.
That's correct, but it doesn't prove you are Mary Roff. The Venoms know me. All of Watseka knows me. That ain't such a marvelous feat. Tell me something that crazy Rancy don't know. Tell me something that only Mary Roff knows. She turned back to the minister. That'll be the day, when this girl comes up with something that only Mary could know.
I do know you now. I recall you quite well, as a matter of fact. You were the old busybody who tried to have me committed to Springfield.
Lavinia didn't know whether to slap the child or sit down. She decided on neither. Don't call me names, you crazy girl. I didn't come here to be insulted. Why did you come here? It was a new voice entering the room. Anne made them all turn around and look in her direction. Why did you come here, Lavinia Durst? You were certainly not invited. I am a member of the Concerned Citizens Committee, Lavinia said. I don't have to be invited. The committee has powers. Not in this house, it doesn't. The Reverend spoke up. We should have notified you beforehand. Maybe we could have planned the visit better. No amount of planning would have induced me to permit either one of you to come into my house. You watch your tongue, Anne Roff, Lavinia warned. You are talking with a man of God. I am talking with a man who happens to also be a minister, Anne replied. There is a big difference in that and a man of God. Now see here, Mrs. Roff, the Reverend Baker protested. I have my credentials, and I have my feelings. My feelings are, at this moment, that the two of you have barged uninvited into my home, and I shall have to ask you to leave. You can't throw us out, Lavinia shouted. We are the Citizens Committee. You are nothing but troublemakers. Anne was surprised at her own display of strength. And she would tell Asa later that it must have come from that protective instinct a mother has for her children. Please leave, she said, and began walking toward the door. It's this way. You can't do this to us, Anroth. Lavinia was beside herself with these insults from her old adversary. We have the power, and we will make sure this crazy girl gets her dues. We are going to have her locked up, and the key is going to get thrown away. Don't think you can stop us. We represent the people.
You represent shit. All you've ever done is cause trouble. All the business you ever mind is somebody else's. Get the shit out of here and don't come back.
Lavinia screamed and ducked behind the Reverend as the girl walked toward her. Don't touch me, she cried. Reverend Baker, don't let her touch me. She's crazy. Mary, Anne shouted, stop that kind of talk this instant.
Mary ain't here. She's gone. This old bitch frightened her away. Don't worry, lady. I ain't gonna hurt you. I just want to get my hands around that scrawny chicken neck and squeeze.
She's mad. She's mad and she's going to try to kill me.
How right you are.
Larancy pushed at the minister.
Get out of my way, you turn-collar old fraud, and let me get my hands on that troublemaker. Mealy-mouthed old fart.
Oh my God. Anne had her hands up to her face. Look what you've done now. Just see what you two have done.
Get out of my way.
Larancy pushed at the minister, but he held his ground, bracing his legs on the carpeted floor. The girl took a swing, and with one blow to the side of his body, knocked him halfway across the room. He fell against a table, knocking the pictures and ornaments to the floor. Larancy grabbed Lavinia and dragged her across the rug to the sofa.
Lots of folks are going to be mighty pleased at my handiwork.
No! Mary, please don't. Please. The girl ignored her, tossed Lavinia onto the sofa, and raising her arm, brought her open palm down on Lavinia's rear end with a sound that could have been mistaken for a pistol shot. Lavinia felt the pain and fainted. Up again went the hand, but the palm did not descend.
Damn, she's out cold. That takes all the fun out of it.
Anne grabbed Larancy, but instead of the struggle she expected, felt her crumple in her arms. As Larancy slid to the floor, Anne fell with her. The Reverend Baker, seeing his opponent on the ground, rushed over to Lavinia and started slapping her hands and face to revive her. Mrs. Durst, please, let's get out of here. Lavinia moaned. Her eyelids fluttered, and she stretched out her arms for the minister to take. He helped her to her feet. Mrs. Roth, you can be sure we will be back again. We cannot permit this kind of conduct from anyone in our community. We shall be back, and we shall have a warrant for that girl's arrest. Can't you see what you've done already? Are you so blind not to see the damage you've caused? I am not blind, Mrs. Roth, not at all. I have excellent eyesight, and it has shown me the true side of this disgraceful story. The girl is infested with demons. I will not permit her to stay in this house or this city. You can do nothing about it, Anne shouted. You are not God. No, but that girl is the devil. She cannot go unpunished. He and Lavinia were almost to the front door. And neither you nor your husband will go unpunished. You can be sure of that. Spiritualism is the curse of the devil. The devil is in this house, but he shall not stay long. Anne couldn't take any more. For the love of God, get out of here! Asa sent the telegram to Dr. Stevens. Come at once. Terrible, upsetting experience has removed both Mary and Larancy from body. We need you.
Now, join me under the porch light, the place where memories meet the present and voices from the past still linger in the dark. Tonight, we listen, not to the pages from a book, but to the people who have felt the unexplained and found the courage to share it. Welcome to Porchlight Whispers.
This week, Porchlight Whispers comes from right here in North Carolina, along a stretch of road that runs through swamp, history, and just enough isolation to make your headlights feel very small. I've driven it plenty of times, and I've been to Moores Creek National Battlefield, but after hearing this next segment, I don't think I'll be driving anywhere near there late at night. Pender County, Highway 210, near Moores Creek National Battlefield, and the dark waters of the Black River. July 21st, 2021, around 11 p.m. What you are about to hear is real. This is the real 911 call, and the commentary is made by Pender County Sheriff A.W. Cutler.
That's not human! That's not human!
It is very hard to listen to that call, to that 911 tape, without becoming somewhat unnerved. It actually bothered me the first time that I heard it.
Pender County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
I'm driving on 210. I just crossed the Black River, and I thought I saw a guy standing on the side of the road bleeding.
Okay, where are you at, sir?
I'm on 210. I just crossed the Black River. I'm heading towards 53 East. I just passed Patriots Watch.
Okay, so you're over near Moores Creek?
Yes.
Okay. And did you saw a man standing on the side of the road?
What the?
What was that, sir?
That's not human! That's not human!
Sir, are you okay, sir?
There's something in the bed of my truck!
Okay, what's in the road?
No, it's not in the road. It's in my truck. In the bed.
There's something in the bed of your truck?
Yes, ma'am. I just turned on my bed lights for my truck, and there's something in my bed.
Okay, sir, when you say something, what do you mean?
I just knocked it off of the bed of my truck and went over my roof.
Okay, what was it?
According to the CAD notes and the deputy reports, something beating on the top of the truck. The caller stated that it was beating and scratching on the top of the cab of his truck. At some point, he was able to slam on his brakes, and the force of inertia actually threw this thing out over his hood and onto the highway, where this thing stood up in the roadway, made its way to the wood line, and disappeared in the woods.
That's not human! That's not human!
Have any of you had an experience near Moores Creek National Battlefield? Have you had an experience near any battlefield? We'd love to hear your story. Has anyone seen a creature that you can't explain, but you know you saw, and you know it wasn't human or normal? I've always been fascinated by the Mothman. I loved the Mothman Prophecies movie, and recently Chris and I actually stayed in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. We got to see the Mothman statue. Unfortunately, the museum was closed, but it was really awesome to see some of the scenes where the movie took place, but also the history, the murals. It truly is a place where so much has happened, so how could there not be anything left over? We need more Porchlight stories, so please, if you're inspired to share, email us at porchlightwhispers@gmail.com. Until next time, pay attention.
That was this week's edition of Porchlight Whispers. Do you have an experience of your own to tell? We want to hear your stories. Share your experience and let your small town whispers become part of ours.
And with that, the porch light dims, but the whispers stay with us. Join us again next time when another voice steps into the light.